Pogačar's new Colnago, Astana's new race bike, and the cheapest Pinarello F series ever. There's also plenty of unreleased but not so secret bikes on my wish list for 2025, and these are the ones that I would most like to ride. Oh, and stick around to see what very colourful bike Santa just dropped off before Christmas. Let's get into it, shall we? We'll kick off with this. This is what we assume to be the replacement for the Cannondale Synapse, the American brand's endurance bike. Endurance bikes, and all road bikes for that matter, are all the rage right now. And even though the current generation Synapse isn't that old, it could already do with a rethink, as to be honest, it was a bit of a flop. Okay, maybe that's a bit harsh, some of the models are quite good, but if you want carbon, then you're stuck with something called Smart Sense, which is basically just a clever way of getting some more money out of you for some accessories that you may or may not want. The leaked images of this new one though look the business, and Lachlan Morton has already ridden it around the circumference of Australia at breakneck speeds. We're therefore assuming that it's going to be pretty comfortable for mile munching, have some aero credentials, we hope that there's still mudguard mounts, and as for tyre clearance, well, the current Synapse has 35mm, so we'd suspect an increase to around 38mm would be in line with current standards. Obviously, there's no official launch date or in fact confirmed name, but this looks about ready for production, so we'll be keeping our eyes peeled in the first few months of 2025 and hoping we can get our hands on one soon after. Now, you might not have heard of this next brand, but just look at this bike. We first saw this Reap Type 300 prototype gravel bike at the Rysel bike show, but since then pre-orders have now opened and the real thing is coming in spring 2025. Reap is claiming that the new bike will have serious aero performance, be able to fit 50mm tyres but still use a road standard bottom bracket as to not upset your Q factor, and it certainly looks the business, so we're really hoping we can get our hands on one for smashing around our local gravel. Okay, so we've had an endurance bike, we've had a gravel bike, how about the road bikes? Well, good news, it looks like we're going to be absolutely spoilt for choice in 2025 with new aero race bikes absolutely coming out of our ears. For me, topping that list of aero bikes that I want to ride is the X-Lab AD9. No, it's definitely not the biggest brand out there, and to be honest, it probably won't be the fastest bike in the pro peloton either, but it could be the most significant. You see, X-Lab is to XDS Carbon Tech what S-Works is to Specialized, the top of the range stuff. But XDS is not Specialized, at least not yet. They are a huge carbon fiber manufacturer from China. And whilst most of our carbon bikes do indeed come from China or Taiwan, we're yet to see a Chinese bike brand make it at cycling's highest level, the World Tour. And that's why I'm excited to ride the AD9. Clearly, Astana believe that this deal was worth it. They want to win. Well, let's see if the X-Lab is up to the task. Now, before we go any further, if you could spare a second to click subscribe, then it would be massively appreciated, as it really does help out the channel, and it also has the added benefit of you won't miss out on us riding any of these bikes when we get our hands on them. So, sticking with road bikes, how could we miss out the Colnago Y1RS off this list? It released just before Christmas. This is what Tadej Pogačar got down his chimney, just to make sure he's even more dominant in 2025 than he was in 2024. Oh boy. These races are going to be fun to watch, aren't they? It is safe to say that the looks have divided opinion. I think it looks better in the flesh than the original renders, and also fair play to Colnago for actually doing something different. We have more than enough bikes for people who just want a standard 2-triangle design. To be honest, it doesn't really matter what the hell it looks like. This bike will be remembered for one thing: how many races it wins and whether it's fast. And that's why I want to get my hands on one, to see if it really is as fast as the Italian press release claims. One thing that is for sure, Pogačar's competition will be hoping it isn't. And why don't we have one more aero bike for good measure? This one is another very badly kept secret, the Rysel RCR-F. So as you probably know, Decathlon AG2R riders currently race on the Rysel RCR, a bike that is amazingly good, surprisingly better value than its competition, and well, pretty fast. Apparently not fast enough though, and that's why the French have added an F. Clearly that's not the only change. We have much deeper tube shapes, more sculpting around the rear wheel, and this colossal head tube. The problem with aero bikes in the past was that they were all rather uncomfortable, and that's why we want to take one for a spin to see if it's good for us or whether it's only good for Sam Bennett. There is actually a second Van Rysel that I want to add to this list, and it's this, rumoured to be called the GCR, G for gravel. Could this drive the prices of gravel bikes down? As many of you already know, I love a gravel bike. I think they're great. I like getting away from the traffic. I think they're more comfortable for commuting on. And actually, I think unless you're racing, then they're really good on the road as well. Now, we don't know much about this latest one though. It looks as though it will have space for around 45mm tyres, and although it looks more relaxed than the Reap gravel bike that we saw earlier, it does look more orientated towards fire roads than monster gravel and mud plugging. Let us know what you think of it down in the comments section below. Next, we have what is potentially the best value road bike of the last few years. This is the Attain C68, no, it's not C68, it's a C62 SLT. Catchy name, I know. When it released in September, we asked whether it's the best value road bike currently on the market. Well, clearly we can't answer that question without taking one for a ride, so hopefully we manage to change that in 2025. From the stats page alone though, things are looking hopeful. For under €3,000, that's about £2,500, you can get a carbon frame with space for up to 34mm tyres and a 12-speed Ultegra Di2 group set, which has an RRP not far off this complete bike price. Oh, and then you get a set of carbon Newman wheels. So, if you're looking for a new bike in 2025, then we think that this is well worth a look. But before you do, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you're the first to see when we get one in. If you are someone who has always dreamed of owning a Pinarello, but you've never been able to justify the price, then this next one might be for you. This is the Pinarello F1, and although it looks fairly similar to the Dogma, it's a lot cheaper. With a price tag of £3,000 with a mechanical group set, it's still not going to be winning many prizes for value. But if that 9-letter word is what you're after, then it has just got a lot more attainable. Having thoroughly enjoyed the last few months ripping around on the £13,000 Dogma F, I know it's a hard life, I am looking forward to coming back to somewhere slightly closer to reality and seeing if this F1 can deliver anywhere near the same sort of riding enjoyment. So, we will see. Now, the penultimate bike on my list is the SEKA Spear, another bike that I got to see in the flesh at Rouleur, and it looked good. This bit here is called a wind eye. And other than that, it looks pretty similar to my Tarmac SL7, which is probably why I want to go on one. And the final bike that I most want to ride in 2025 is the one that's just been delivered to the office. This is the Factor Ostro VAM, and even though it was first spotted about a year ago at the Tour Down Under, I've only just managed to get one in the flesh. Now, according to nearly all the wind tunnel data that I've seen, this thing should be very fast. It's also pretty light. We weighed this one at 7.1 kilos, complete with bottle cages and computer mount. So, will it be worth the wait? Well, I'm going to find out, and in the meantime, let me know which bikes you'd most like us to test, or which ones you're most excited to see in 2025 down in the comment section below. Of course, we're also hoping for some extra releases, ones from brands that are better at keeping secrets. Could we see an updated Cervelo S5, for example? It's certainly been out a few years now. Maybe an updated Athos to rival the Scott Addict RC. Again, that would be very exciting. Actually, I've missed the Scott Addict RC off this list, haven't I? Let me know if I've missed anything else down below. Maybe we'll even see a Cannondale CAD 14. That would be an exciting aluminium bike release. Looking forward to that, if it comes in 2025 or whenever it might be. I guess only time will tell, but we'll keep you updated as soon as we spot anything. As always, if you enjoyed this content, then please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.